Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome back. So we are on episode 6 now, I do believe, of our Captain of Industry Let's Play. So this, let's see. Um, this episode, we said we were going to. So I finished this up over here. Finished the concrete slabs up. So all of that's running. You can see we're actually backlogged on sand here quite a bit. So the excavators cleared out a good chunk of that, and we're backed up on sand. In the meantime, we did unlock. Not sure if we unlocked it last episode or if I unlocked it in between episodes, but we did get the burners here to burn our waste. So all I did here was I just set up a little loose storage on the back side of the waste collection facility here. And we put the burners kind of in parallel here. And then I have a belt coming in from this ore sorting plant. That's really going to take everything in, but we're just going to unassign products. So this will take in all the products, but we'll just dump the unused stuff here. Or just have the trucks take it out and move it. There shouldn't be that much because I think I was able to catch it before it got too far. But we just got some dirt, some slag, and some rock here that we'll have to contend with. So our excavator did get done over here for this. So I am going to go ahead and assign that. But we're also going to have to switch this from dumping to mining, because now we're mining it out. So we're just going to go like that, and now he'll start mining that out, and it'll get burned over here in our burners. Perfect. All right. So while we've got that going, everything else is moving along swimmingly here. All that's good to go. Let's get our power generation up and working. So power generation needs, let me get my goals open here. So it needs a boiler. So it's going to need coal. And it's going to need a pretty substantial amount of coal, 30 per second. Or, sorry, not per second. That'd be a lot more. 30 per minute. Because it needs 30 per minute, we're actually going to put it over here, and I cannot remember where the heck our coal mine on this map is. Here it is. So we're going to put it over here with our coal. And the reason for that is because of that high intake of coal. Same thing with the water, because if you notice, it actually takes a full water pump's worth of water when it's running at full tilt. So we're going to put that over here somewhere. If I can see through the trees. Sure. Right here will work. And then we'll just run a pipe up and over. So let's go up to make sure we're not obstructing any. Of course, there's a tree right there. You know what? Going around the tree. Hopefully we don't run into any more trees. And we did. Whatever. It's just going to be a wonky pipeline. I don't care. That's good for now. All right. So let's get the power generation going here. All right. So I'm going to flip this. And we're going to have it just like this. So we're going to put this right here. I'm going to grab our lifts. We're going to lift that up too. Then we're going to do another one here. Lift it up to the second level. And then we're going to do that. So that's our coal settled. Same thing with our water. So let's get our water over actually going to have it right here, I think. And then we can feed it in like that. Yep, okay. And it doesn't obstruct the trucks too much. So we're good there. All right, so what else do we need? We need a smokestack for the exhaust. So there's that. And now we also need an output for the high pressure steam, which is going to go right here into a high pressure steam turbine. Make sure there's not a lot of trees in the way. There is. Hang on. What's our logging situation doing over here? Can we very much just take care of that over here? Thank you. I think in the meantime, I'm just going to move this way potentially. Let's just put it down in planning mode here. I keep forgetting about planning mode. But let's put it down there. Yeah, that tree's not quite in the way. All right. So the way the numbers work out for this, the boiler is outputting 48 high pressure steam per minute. Each one of these is taking 24. So we can power 2 high pressure turbines with this coal boiler here. So we will do just that. So let's get the pipe going here. I actually want it like that, so we can feed this down and then up, kind of like that. Yeah, that's going to obstruct trucks going through there, but I don't really care all that much in this little section. All right, so these take in the high pressure, convert it to mechanical energy, and then output low pressure steam. Unfortunately, right now, there's nothing that we can do with the low pressure steam. So we're just going to dump it into a smokestack. You can see here it'll take low or high pressure steam and just delete it, basically. Just dump it into the atmosphere. So that's what we're going to do for now. There is a way a little bit later on that you can recapture, or not recapture, but you can do work with that low pressure steam to produce a little bit more power for you. So there's that. And then what I'm going to do, so I didn't do this last time. I only had one flywheel here, and then I did the power generators. Realistically, I'm sure there's a limit to how many you can put, but I had 3 of them on here just to provide that extra little bit of buffer. And actually, let me do this, because I think it'll look a little bit better if we do something like this, and then this. So also the way this works, if you look at the tooltips in here, this shaft, it doesn't matter where you put things on this shaft. Oh, thank you. So they can go in any order, and they'll all contribute to the same inertia here and the same throughput. So as long as they're connected along this single path, it doesn't matter in which order you put them. So you can have it set up however you want. Let's check the maths here. So each one of our high pressure turbines generates 6 mechanical power each. So that's going to be 12 total. And each one of these power generators only consumes 3 mechanical power each. So we can build a total of 4 of these, and we will do just that. So there we go. And then we're going to stick one more flywheel here on the end. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us a much bigger buffer of accumulated energy or inertia here. And that's going to make these high pressure turbines run even less amounts of time. Oop, autosave there. So that means we're not going to be using this full 30 per minute or this full 48 per minute. So the more efficient you can make this, and the more buffer you can give it, the more efficient it's ultimately going to be. So we'll go ahead and unpause all of that, have that getting built. We're going to go ahead and turn this auto balance on. I don't really know. I'm sure there's a situation where you wouldn't have this on, hence the reason why it's off by default. I always like to turn it on because it saves the turbine from running unnecessarily when it doesn't need to, and using up that steam, which ultimately uses coal and water, so on and so forth. And this is going to take care of our power generation for quite some time. In worst case scenario, if we do need to build another one of these, or we could just build another turbine right here, slap some more, build another boiler here, slap some more turbines on the back, and then add on some more power generators. They can all be on the same shaft. From what I can tell, I have yet to test it, but from what I can tell, you're only limited by this throughput amount here. So in my mind, you can add as many machines on the same shaft as you want up to this throughput. So, and you'll see that once everything starts spinning up, you'll see that in action. See that number going up there. Oh, tree harvester has their trees to harvest. Let me pause real quick. Let's get rid of all these around here just to make my coal area a little bit more open. All right, so that'll all get built. You can see over here we're running low on construction parts. So let's go check on our construction parts here. Make sure there's no bottlenecks. There's a few over here. Now I did notice, so these take in 6, 12 a minute. These produce 12 a minute. So we could benefit. We've got the workers, and we're about to have the power for sure. Let's go ahead and plop down another assembler here. Ooh, if I can get under there. There we go. And then here and here. Right, and then let's get this one in there. Oh, I'm still in planning mode. So there we go. That's all unpaused. So that'll give us an extra 6 per minute of construction parts to help them get built and not immediately transfer it over here to the construction parts too, to be utilized. So that gives us a little bit of a buffer there. How we doing? Mechanical parts are good. Electronics are good. Oh, and there's our alert that this is getting low. So actually, while we're still waiting for this to get built up, I'm going to go over here. And go ahead and build up our processing here. We're going to get a cargo dock. That part needs to be in the ocean. Can we build it over here? Oh, might not be able to. Why is the truck having issues? Where are you trying to get to? Oh, you're trying to get to that. No. yeah, don't import. And here's the main reason why it's important to build spaces between your buildings. Right, if your trucks can't get there, they're going to complain. Right now, they're just trying to dump things in there. They're trying to dump those concrete slabs in there, for example. But they can't get to it, so they can't really do much. They're probably shipping all that over to the coal power plant. Each of these take like 40 and 50 construction part twos. Okay. So if I don't hurry up and do this, we're gonna be in trouble. So let me... Oh, I hate this. Can we do it here? No, it's looking like it's red there. Some part needs to be in the ocean. Oh, okay. So we can do there. Can we do over here? I would greatly enjoy it being over here, but I can deal with it not being over there. Let's see. Too low. I had you over here. I swear I did. There we go. You know what? Sure. Ocean access is blocked. Of course it is. Okay, so you don't like that being right there, even though you legitimately do not have any ship that comes to you. You still don't like being there. Okay. Ocean access is blocked. Cannot place in the ocean. Well, it's not in the ocean. You want it in the ocean, though. Okay. This is kind of what happened on my last map, too. I didn't really have a good spot to put it. So it kind of just... It was not in a great place when I got done with it. Okay. Trade dock's just gonna get moved. It's fine by me. We'll do that, and then we're gonna do ship that straight into some fluid storage. Makes it super easy. There we go. And we are going to... Oh, that's another thing I need to do. Go to the world map. Let's start repairs on the cargo ship and the oil rig. So what start repairs does is it basically puts a job on your... Right here. Puts a job for your trucks to start dropping off those materials. Here for your ship to take those materials to the cargo ship and the oil rig to repair them. We are going to need some more population. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to plop down our first housing 2. Mind you, we do not have the construction parts for any of this. I could move our water. Actually, I think I might just do that. Just put another one of these here. Okay, coal power plant got completed. So when that gets done, I'll just put that there. All right, so the idea is we've got oil coming in here, right? We need a distillation stage 1 down. I'm thinking we're going to put that right here. I think flip it. That'll do. And then we'll feed that into a distillation 2. All right. So the way these work, or the ratios, I should say. So we got crude oil here. We got 60 coming in per minute. One pipe can carry 60 per minute. So we're just going to need one pipe coming to this. We are going to need some high pressure steam. So right now we just have the boiler, but while I'm thinking of it, let me go in here and get the gas combustion. Because you can run this entire setup off of its own products, because you're not really using the full amount of steam. And because you're not using the full amount of steam, it won't actually use the full amount of materials. Because you'll notice here as well, it'll use 36 of the heavy oil per minute, but this setup is only going to be producing 12. So yeah, ideally we're not getting the right ratios, but it'll work for this setup. So not too terribly concerned with that. All right, so we're going to put two. So we're going to put a diesel tank there. We're going to put a light oil there and a heavy oil there is kind of our goal. We need another liquid dump there. All right. So let's get the light oil straight in. Again, just do the whole, you know, not get our trucks bound up thing. Right. Same thing here. Right there. Then down into that. All right. So that was kind of a mistake that I made on my last one too. I just, where I ended up having to put the oil distillation here on my last map, it was kind of like right on the edge of a place that I hadn't really mined out yet. And because I did it that way, I didn't really have a whole bunch of space to move around, so my trucks really couldn't do a great job getting around there. All right, so we need oil coming in, obviously, otherwise none of this is going to work. So we'll get this kind of wrapping around here, coming up over here, coming down. Good. We'll preemptively get a boiler set up here. And we are going to need some water here as well. Which actually the water's coming in right here. I could run that pipe kind of down in parallel to the wastewater pipe and just put like the water for the settlement right here. I mean, that'd be a way of doing it. That's going to be our sour water. Sour water. Okay. Kind of want to wait for the gas combustion to get done before I finish that. But let's just go ahead and put down pipe from the sour water. We will go up by 3 to get over this pipe. And we'll run that right next door. Right next door to here. Shift over to here. And then down into the sour water. All right. Now we just need the gas combustion, which is almost done. Actually, are we done filling this up? Yep. All right, so we're going to tell the ship to go deliver that, get our cargo ship going, so we can hopefully start getting oil. All right, so there's our gas boiler. All right, so the high pressure steam is going to be coming in there. The exhaust is going to be coming out here. And then the oil, which is what this was, I believe. Let's see. This is a stage 1. So if that's there, yes, that was the heavy oil. Hey, there's our cargo. Our cargo ship. Oh, right. He needs diesel as well. So let's go ahead and plop down the diesel and fill it up. There we go. Alrighty. And this was going to be our diesel pipe coming out here. So what I did on my low food supply, why are we at low food supply? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Why? 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 Why do we have freshwater shortage? Yes, I am aware. Kind of broke that. Huh. Well, all right, so we got the potatoes. Well, half of 17 is about, what, 8? 8-ish, 8.5? And we're only we're producing 10 between the two of them. How are we at such a food shortage? I don't understand. And also, I don't understand why I ran these belts this way, because each one of these can only hold one thing. So, that's kind of weird. Okay, that is weird. Not sure why we're at a food shortage. Well, this is making pretty quick work of the waste over here. Didn't even realize how quick that was going. All right, let's finish this up real quick. That's going to be our steam going in. No available place to dump products. Okay, I've got a lot of things, so we can clear that because we know about that. Ore sorting plant blocked. Coal and dirt. So dirt is blocked. Mine control power, no available place to dump products. They don't have a place to dump products. Okay. Are we done with this ramp? Oh, we are. Oh, wow. Okay. Didn't realize we were done with that ramp already. That would do it. That's nice though. At least we got a ramp over there. Okay. So now we get into how do we want to expand out our island here. I'm thinking down here. We could do it at the beach here. We could do it over here, but I kind of like the idea that my captain's house here, or captain's office, just kind of has like this beach view, or this kind of rock view. So I think I'm going to leave that. So yeah, we'll just start dumping down here. Just make it huge dumping spot. Huge dumping spot. There we go. All right. And they are still set just to, and we're out of workers too. Yep, so slag, rock, and dirt are the only things that are accepted there. All right, so unpause. So that'll take care of that. And that doesn't take care of the low food supply, which is really an issue. Again, we should be producing enough. 8.4, 8.4. Unless we just really got unlucky with harvests over here. That's the only thing I can think. Because between the two, we should be average. I mean, mind you, this is average, right? So it's not ideal. But we should be averaging about 10 between the two. I probably will go ahead and unpause these. I had already placed them down, you can see. Let's go ahead and unpause these and get those built. And then I'll work on running the belts. Between this episode and next, I'll run these belts around and connect them over here. And I would say fix these shenanigans, but the next food market that we're going to get can hold 2 products. So these belts will make sense once we upgrade these. They don't right now, but they will. All right, so this is done with the exception of we need to pump in our heavy oil. I'm trying to think how I did this. I think what I did, and I kind of had to do it this way. There's really not enough room over here. I think the trucks would still be able to get through there. Kind of want to put it like right here next to it though. It's fine. We'll just put it right there. So what I did is I set this to heavy oil and I said, hey, let's fill it up here, right? And since this is also going to be heavy oil, they'll pull it from here and fill this up, which is great. Now, what I want to do here is I want to set the output to belts to be 180 for this and the light oil. Because what I'm going to do, because we're not using it really in any appreciable recipe, or we're not using all of the heavy oil and the light oil that we're outputting. So I'm going to dump them into flares here, and flares work very similar to the smokestacks, to the waste pipes. They just delete whatever you put in them. Most of the products you can see here, though, do produce air pollution as a byproduct of that. So it's not the most ideal thing. You really want to use it. Also, I don't know why you would burn excess diesel. That seems dumb to me, but you know, hey, to each their own. Alrighty, so now we just need to get water over here. And I think the way I'm going to do that is exactly how I mentioned here. Let's just extend the water line down. I think is probably going to be the best way to do it. There's a tree right in the way, though. Because of course there is. Why wouldn't there be a tree right in the way? Come on. Seriously, like, right in the way. Okay. So much for making any of this look nice. You know? Trees are conspiring against me. Alright. Yes, we just needs to go a little bit further. Yes, yes, yes. I know I don't have enough workers. Leave me alone. Oh, is that high enough to go over it? It is. Just barely, though. Alright. Then it's going to go whoop. And that'll work pretty well for now. Later on, you will be able to desalinate the ocean water. But right now, we're kind of We're not quite there. Alrighty, so, ooh, cutting it close. Cutting it close. Oh, that's right. I did delete that so I can put another one of these in there right quickly. We don't have enough parts for it. I was gonna use some Unity to hurry that along, but we don't quite have the parts for it. Why is our Unity... I was gonna say, why is our Unity suffering so much? I forgot I took their water away. So let's add that back before I completely forget. And right here will be perfect because we can just feed... No. We can just feed directly into the wastewater. And pull in. If I can get it to snap in the right spot. No, I don't want you connecting to the wastewater. Thank you. Sure, that'll work. No available place to dump products. Who's complaining? You're complaining. Because nothing's working, because we don't have enough workers. Good to know. Are these set at higher priority? No. Just so happened that that one... Ooh. Man, these farms take 8 workers apiece. Ooh. That's crazy. Alrighty, well this episode is getting a little long, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here, but we pretty much got the got our oil distillation set up here. In between this episode and next, I will go ahead, let all this finish as I normally do. This is almost done. But let all that finish, get all that set back up. I more than likely will end up moving all of this. I'll probably keep the rubber here for some time, but I'll go ahead and move over the diesel generators over to here to feed off of what's going to be diesel here. Just because this is going to be our long-term diesel. Once these wells dry up, this is no longer really going to be our diesel spot. So the rubber will get moved over here and so on and so forth. Because our oil is going to be coming from this oil rig right here once it gets repaired. So, alrighty. Well, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Have a good day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.